The Olympic Peninsula is one of the last great places in the United States. People come here for the recreational opportunities. People come here for the stunning beauty. And people live here because of the clean water. My name is Michelle Sandoval. I am a Port Townsend City Councilor and former mayor. We reside at the end of the road. You have to want to come here. You have to want to live here. And with that desire brings people who are very passionate about the place that they've found. You don't end up here by accident.
The Water Olympics campaign is a proposal concerned with protecting our wilderness and the rivers. We have incredible public support for it. We have over 450 businesses, elected officials, faith leaders, and over 10,000 supporters have signed our petition. The reason we want to protect the wilderness and the rivers is because this is one of the last areas in the entire country with old-growth forests. The opposition is fearful that this proposal will prevent them from getting timber jobs, which it won't, because these areas are already off limits by Forest Service rules.
My name is Fred Rakovich. I'm a retired logger, and I live in Elma, Washington. I consider myself as an environmentalist and a retired logger, and I was an environmentalist when I was a logger. In terms of the old growth left in the National Forest, there's not a lot left because a lot of it were logged before now. There was a time when logging was right across streams, disturbing the spawning beds, all kinds of things that we did that were wrong. But we learned as we went along.
My name is Peter Bales, and I'm a fish biologist and director of Northwest Watershed Institute. One of the fun things I get to do is walk up the creeks to monitor for salmon. There's not many fish out here right now because the flow is still pretty low. And in a couple weeks or a month when it rains, that's when most of the coho will start coming in. And chum salmon. Well, the Olympic Peninsula was settled by Europeans rather late. Of the 48 states, it was probably one of the latest areas to be colonized. And so people think it's this pristine area, but actually since about the 1890s, salmon runs have been heavily impacted by overharvest and development of the floodplains for agriculture and heavy timber harvest in the National Forest, the Olympic National Forest. So we're still recovering from 100 years of impacts in the Olympics.
Well, this inlet is called Little Skookum, and very important area for shellfish farming in Puget Sound. About 80 years ago, there was a pulp mill that was located in these inlets, and it polluted our waters, it devastated our industry, and after it closed, it took about 40 or 50 years for these shellfish farms to recover. If the legislation passes, my understanding is that the logging and road building will not be allowed in some of these watersheds that are above the shellfish growing areas, and that will help ensure the water quality around our farms.
So where are you going to go? Are you going to go out to the lighthouse? Yeah, you could paddle downtown and stop at the pizza.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Have fun. I picked Port Townsend because it's on the waterfront, and this harbor that we're in here is a really rare event. There are very, very few small harbors like this left anywhere in the United States that aren't completely developed and haven't gone, beyond the reach of small businesses that are manufacturing based. My business isn't based primarily on tourism, but on recreation and outdoor recreation. So for me personally, preserving outdoor recreation is a good thing. Well, you're still dry. That's a good sign.
Over the past decade, millions of dollars of state and federal money has gone to protect and restore salmon habitat in these low elevation watersheds. And the Wild Olympics campaign and the effort to protect the headwaters of these river systems in Hood Canal is really important to protect that investment in all this work we're doing at the low elevations.
What it will do is it will make these Forest Service rules permanent. Not just for now, not just for myself, but for the future.
The city of Port Townsend has 38,000 acres of federal forest land, which will be protected. That's our watershed. That's what creates the pure drinking water that we live with here, that we have the beauty of living with here. And the campaign will make sure that that continues into the future.
Water quality is our lifeblood. Without it, we can't harvest our product won't grow, it won't thrive, and so that is critical to our success.
I've been to Europe, I've been to Russia and other places, and this is really something we need to protect and cherish.